Welcome back to another episode of my Tampa Bay Rays franchise here on MLB The Show 26, where we are at the very beginning of August. I forgot to do it in the last episode. I'm sorry. Before I do anything else, I don't want to forget again. Let's go take a look at the trades that happened around Major League Baseball this year. I already messed it up. All right, so we'll do it kind of team by team for trades. Obviously, we'll start off with ourselves. We made 3 trades this year. You guys have seen them. Not going to go over those again. So some of this stuff is going to obviously be redundant, but just kind of wanted to put this out there. That way you guys can see Toronto did end up moving Namala, bringing in Laureano, Sheets, and Peralta there. Namala is a top 100 prospect as a shortstop. The White Sox made kind of a low-end trade. The Guardians acquired Jeremiah Jackson and Patrick Riley for Austin Hedges, Sean Armstrong, and Rhys Hoskins. Had the Royals made a couple of trades here, including getting Ryan O'Hearn from the Pirates for Osbel Gonzalez. Okay. Urshela. So we had the Twins. Ended up getting George Lombard Jr., one of the top shortstop prospects in baseball from the Yankees, along with Bryce Cunningham for Gio Urshela, Matt Bowman. But, of course, Ryan Jeffers is a big one here in the Cole Sand. So the Yankees kind of went all in on that move. The Astros have made a ton of trades. They shipped off Brian Abreu, shipped off Jake Myers, Josh Hader, Nate Pearson, Lance McCullers, even traded Jose Altuve. Christian Walker is gone. They sent Walker, Janik, Nick Allen, Ethan Pecco, and Joseph Sullivan. Sent off Miguel Uliola, and Luis Baez. And then sent off so they ended up sending. Okay, so they made 2 trades on the 31st. That was throwing me off. So they sent off Mike Burrows and then Xavier Nines. So obviously they got Corbin Burns. That's a huge move, but it doesn't really make sense with trading away some of your, other older players to, it looks like you're kind of taking a step back and rebranding and kind of re-emphasizing a little bit more youth. And then you go after Corbin Burns. So it's a little weird, but they obviously traded a ton of players. The Angels, kind of a small trade there. Jacob Reimer for Jeff McNeil. The Mariners traded Celestine. I wonder what he's rated as a prospect on this game. Got Lourdes Gurriel, got Brandon Lau for Cade Anderson. Wow, a huge trade there. One of the top pitching prospects in baseball for Brandon Lau. The Rangers, we've seen both of those trades. The Braves, we made their only trade with them. Marlins were able to get McDermott, Honeycutt, and Aloy for Anthony Bender. A couple of relievers and Alcantara, so a big trade there. Saw the Mets trade earlier. The Phillies got Matt Chapman from the Giants for Arun Escobar. Cubs, we made obviously one of those trades with them. Traded their top catcher, or a great catching prospect there for Jason Adam. Okay, the Reds, obviously we made the first trade with them. They went all in. They got Morejon, got Abreu, and then got Josh Hader. So they got a great bullpen now on the back end of there. They went pretty well all in for this season. Pirates got rid of some of the guys they acquired this offseason, including, of course, Brandon Lau from us, and seemed to do a nice job there. Cardinals, Diamondbacks, we've seen some of these trades already. Willie Castro, Dodgers didn't make a single trade. The Padres certainly got a lot younger. I think they did a nice job with those trades in general. Giants, of course, that was a big trade we saw with the Astros there at the top, and here's all of them now. But then the Orioles made several trades, largely going all in here for sure. I mean, Taylor Rogers, Pablo Lopez, Willie Castro, Austin Hedges gives you at least a backup catcher situation for them there. And then got Alcantara. Yankees were pretty busy, and then, of course, we're back around to us. At the end of the last episode, we also got to see our draft picks. We're really happy with Charles Morgan. I don't necessarily know if I would consider him the top prospect in this class probably is Federico Bonilla, because he's an 18-year-old that's already like a 73 overall. And there were a couple of high-end pitching prospects as well. Like Jermaine Johnson, that's a really, really good prospect. Where did Montenegro, of course, ended up being much worse than originally it looked like. There was 199 potential guy, but he's like really, really bad right now. Where is Bonilla? Keith Mitchell was an okay guy. Paul Sheed. There he is. So Federico Bonilla, obviously already being a 73 overall with 87 potential, is a really, really strong starting point for him. Probably the best prospect in this class, unless it's one of those pitchers. But I'm really, really thrilled with Charles Morgan. We took him number 2 overall. College guy, I think he's going to be up at the major leagues at a decent time, to be honest with you. Brought in Antoine Landry, probably becomes our top pitching prospect. Tyler Santana is a solid one. It's going to take a little bit of time to develop. David Hong is obviously 94 potential, but he's also a 52 overall. Probably more of a future trade piece at some point in time, if I had to guess. Johnny Encarnacion maybe becomes, a good lefty reliever for us in the future. Not as worried about overall when it comes to relief pitchers. So you got a couple of decent guys in there. And now we're, the plan is to get through, I think, the rest of this season. It's going to be a lot of simulating, to be honest with you. But we're going to start things off here with contract extensions, and the first thing I want to do is lock up Jonathan Aranda. Aranda is an 80 overall first baseman. He's 27 years old. He has now put together, a 206-game sample size here over the last year plus of, over 300 batting average, really good on base percentages, good slugging. I mean, being north of an 850 OPS each of these 2 years is really, really solid. He's a guy that looks like a 2 to 3 WAR kind of player. He's a first baseman that you don't have to, worry about, platooning him at all. Like, this is a really good hitter that to me seems destined to be somewhere between our number 2 and number 5 slot in our lineup. Probably the rest of this series, if I had to guess. Now with Aranda, we do have 3 more years of team control regardless. After this season, we're trying to skip that. We're going to go ahead and offer him a 6-year deal. Let's make it an even $72 million to $12 million a year. Let's see if he accepts this. Salary is a little too low. I don't mind. I mean, I think he's a really good player. We can bump this up to 75, so 12.5 a year. And we have gotten our first extension, Jonathan Aranda. I feel really comfortable that we're getting an 800-plus OPS first baseman that can really be an anchor in our lineup. Now, the second choice we kind of have to make here is, really and truly, what do you do with Ryan Pepiot? What do you do with Shane McClanahan? I think that I probably should go Pepiot. But we do have a little bit more team control on him. We do have an extra year of arbitration still left with him in comparison to McClanahan. This might seem crazy, to kind of give some of these longer-term deals. But as we look at the budget, like, if you look at what we have even after Aranda, so taking away arbitration, taking away renewables, we have $20 million is all we have, heading into the 2027 season. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit more once we pay some of these guys, but this is not a group of arbitration guys I think is going to be super expensive. Like Pepiot, maybe Pepiot or McClanahan, whichever one we did not give the contract extension to, would end up being a little bit more expensive. But like Taylor Walls is a lower overall, even coming off a really good year. How expensive is he really going to be? It just doesn't really seem like that's going to be much for us to necessarily worry about. And I guess we can't – I wonder if the offseason, if we could give a deal to Junior Caminero, because I would love to lock him up. That's going to be the earliest that I can give him an extension. I'm trying to extend him, keep him as our building block. Obviously, the 22-year-old is a superstar for us. McClanahan's got a little bit better potential. Pepiot, I think, is a little bit more of A borderline guarantee, if there is such a thing. Pepio has been a little bit better than him, strictly from a fit perspective. He's a little bit cheaper. McClanahan's got more upside, and I think that I would rather give McClanahan this contract extension, 5 years, $21.5 million for a guy that, as I see in year 3 where we're competing again, I think he's going to end up being a good, solid, top of the rotation guy, even if he's not necessarily an ace at that point. So we'll offer this, and we'll go ahead and give McClanahan the contract extension. We'll probably wait on Pepio. We'll do arbitration with him and kind of see where the money and stuff is landing. I'm a little worried about the lower K per 9, but the walks per 9 is a pretty solid number. His FIP is really solid. The component ERA is really good. I think McClanahan is going to be chasing a little bit more upside for us in the long term. So these are the first big keeping the team together moves that we have made so far. So we gave the extensions to McClanahan and Aranda. McClanahan was going to be a free agent after the 2027 season. We now get him for an additional 3 years. And we have Aranda for what should be the vast majority of this series, if not the entire thing, as we now have him signed through the 2032 season. And I think I actually want to hop in because McClanahan is making a start here against the White Sox. And just for fun, because I do want to get through the majority of this season, I think I want to pitch an inning with him, take a couple of at-bats with Aranda, kind of knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, and then we'll really get to getting through this season. Because again, I think that's my plan, is going to be getting through everything. As far as other people, obviously, Uceda, would really love to keep him long-term, Pepio long-term. Taylor Walls, we have an extra year, or we have 1 year left of him for arbitration. I don't think he's going to be very expensive, but I do like him right now heading into next season as our starting shortstop with Carson Williams manning second base. Brian Baker is somebody I'm interested in for sure. As far as the free agents, Jake Fraley right now is probably the top guy I would like to bring back. I think Fraley's been really, really good for us this year, just south of an 800 OPS. I think I could make the case here for a Cedric Mullen. I don't know what a 1-year deal for him looks like. $12 million is not terrible, but I'd rather try to bring back a guy like Fraley. But to me, that's something we can wait for in the offseason, just to kind of give us a little, some veteran impact. And then you're kind of starting to get into more of these lower end guys. I mean, Gavin Lux, what is a 2-year deal for him looks like? Looking at $10 million a year. Gavin Lux has hit the ball so well for us this year. 275 average. He is a little bit on a cold streak. Numbers are coming down a little bit. Gavin can play a couple of different positions. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can get him to bite here on 2 years at $5.1 million. Even if he's a guy that ends up working the bench, he's got versatility and has proven he can hit. I'm okay with doing this. All right, so we've gotten 3 contracts done. Let's hop in here and let's do, pitch an inning with McClanahan and get a couple of at-bats here with Aranda, and again, kind of get to going with this sim. I don't really even know how many more games we're going to hop into. If there's a couple of cool moments, I think that might be worth doing. Also, kind of forgot to mention it, Brody Hopkins in the last episode obviously came up, has made his major league debut. It was a rough first outing there with Toronto, but his last start was a really, really good one there against the White Sox. 5, no-hit innings, did walk 4 guys, but a really, really solid start for the rookie. Let's hop in here with McClanahan. Let's see what we can do. Carson Williams, we're definitely going to skip. We're just kind of letting Carson Williams just do his thing right now. He's been a negative WAR player, but got some hopes for him in the future. Really, really excited to get to this off season, and really looking forward to, just kind of seeing what we can do with this team. I would like to have some improvements heading into year 2. I think we're going to end up getting about 65 wins probably this year. So, 65 to 70 wins, give or take, something like that. I would like to push into getting closer to 500 heading into next year. Let's get things rolling. Chicago White Sox. Murakami has not been good for them at all. I kind of took a brief look at the Rookie of the Year just to see what that looked like. He's not been great. But Shane McClanahan making the start after getting his extension. Got off to a pretty slow start, but has been really good, I would say, since like the middle part of May. Has been really, really rock solid. See if we can get maybe an inning, maybe two with him here. And then again, we're going to take some at-bats. But, yeah, really want to get through this season. Kind of show you guys what we're going to do, in the off-season. And kind of going from there. I've had a lot of fun playing this game, playing with this team. Having something that is a major challenge after the series with the Mariners last year. Get a nice little strikeout here with McClanahan, the first batter he faces after that extension. Really good start. Got Acuna there hitting third, Murakami down to the bottom. I wonder if Colton Montgomery, I don't think he's hurt because I kind of looked at his stats. Just kind of poking around the league. Now, he's definitely not hurt. Has seen definitely some progress putting together a really, really solid year two here. Big-time power hitter at shortstop. It's crazy. We get the first strikeout, so at least we don't have to deal with him, even though it is a lefty-on-lefty situation. A strike there. 1-1. But yeah, I personally view McClanahan as a guy that I think by year three, I think he's going to get back into that mid to upper 80s. I think there's a really, really good shot that I would be comfortable with him, as the ace of this team as we get ready for our next stretch of contention. Trying to be patient, obviously, with this team. We've been worse than I expected us to be. I kind of came in expecting to probably have to trade Yandy Diaz. But we were a lot worse than I thought we were going to be at the beginning of the season. So being able to kind of rip the Band-Aid off is not necessarily a bad thing. Let's go in. We're now kind of building around McClanahan, Aranda, Caminero, Ryan Pepio, even though I haven't given him, an extension at this point in time. That is my long-term plan with him, is to do so, as we're going to be facing off against Davis Martin, having an outstanding season, a 2.98 ERA. Gavin Lux, you know what? We gave him a 2-year deal. We'll swing here with him as well. At that point in time, I might just swing with Caminero since we're here. But a 1-0 count now. Ball is fouled away by Lux. Got a circle change to mash there, just a tad early on it. There we go, 2-1 count. But yeah, definitely excited to get through this season. Hopefully can make some improvements, some low-key ones in the offseason. Obviously, terrible pitch to swing at. We're not going to be, spending a ton of money in the offseason. I really want to see what this budget's going to end up looking like. We had a lot of success in the Mariner series pretty early on. We were able to essentially become, the LA Dodgers of the Northwest, and really were able to bring in, a top free agent every year. Obviously, that's not going to be the way that we're going to be building here with the Rays, but if we can start having some success, as we now see Aranda at the plate, I think that the budget will be decent. It will be something that we can play around with. Be able to keep our younger players, and build around them, continue to draft well. I think we had a really good first draft in the series. There we go, a smoke show. Perfect. We get a single with Jonathan Aranda. And I'm going to swing with Caminero just because I like swinging with Caminero. 22-year-old superstar, Caminero, 266, OPS north of 800, leading the team in home runs and RBIs. Ooh, good cutter there. 819 OPS, 26 home runs. Should end up in the 30 to 35-ish range. Might get around 100 RBIs. I think he's going to end up being, probably in the mid-80s. If I had to guess, golly, swung at two really bad pitches there. Calm down here on the 0-2. There we go, good take. Anytime I lay off a high fastball, it's a good take. I don't do that very often. Yeah, really enjoyed this series, and I'm excited to see the challenges and the changes and stuff. But I think 10 episodes here, between the introduction and then 9 episodes of getting through this first season, I think is probably a little too much. But I like to take my time in these series as well. We're putting up 3 videos a week right now on it, so still moving pretty quickly, strictly from a real life calendar perspective. Anyway, got a pitch to mash there. We're out in front of it though. It's 3-2. He's been a good at bat here for Caminero. Late on that. Not gonna be able to turn 2, but that's bad. That's bad swinging there. Trying to really decide what to maybe do, like with Cedric Mullins this offseason. Do you try to bring him back? Does that end up really making sense? Because we'll just kind of move through the rest of this game now. Got a double there from Walls. Man, he has been good. Let's take a swing with Carson Williams. 456 OPS has obviously not been the rookie year that we wanted from him, but he's still improving. He's made big strides against lefties. And I'm hoping that maybe we get lucky. I don't know if you guys remember from the first episode I talked about, I don't really have a name for it, but like our wheel of stardom, where I'm going to randomly select 3 teams in the American League, 3 teams in the National League, based on a wheel just on the internet. And those teams are going to get a player that is going to get to improve a lot, to hopefully kind of help, kind of get the surprise superstars. Because I think about guys like Colson Montgomery, coming into his second year, having that big, gigantic jump. I'm way late on that. In his power, having 94 power against righties, that's something that you're not going to get out of the game, no matter how good they are. In a single year, you can get good jumps, but you're not going to get that kind of jump. But we'll explain that a little bit more in the off season. But I have briefly talked about it. But it's my way of helping the game create superstars, particularly on the offensive side, but pitchers as well. Because again, I think the progression and regression of these games can be a little wonky at times. And it's not necessarily, as we get another base hit with a Rondo 2-hit day, it's not necessarily going to be a team's top prospect. It might be somebody that I find exciting, but maybe we want to go and make Mason Wynn a superstar. It's not going to be anything crazy. Like, we're not going to make guys, from a 60 overall to a 90 overall or anything like that. But it's really just going to be helping their attributes, and giving them, a 10 to 15 plus boost. It's kind of like a figuring it out kind of aspect, for a young player. Taking some bad hacks with Caminero today. Got another one there. Strikeout. Good fastball there. Gotten a couple hits with a Rondo, though. Not able to help McClanahan out. He works through the inning pretty quickly. Get a solo home run there for Cedric Mullins. A double for Carson Williams. That's good to see.
First base.
Bases are loaded here for Jonathan Aranda. I've already gotten 2 hits with him. 5 for 10 on the series. Little lefty. Ronda, as great as he's been, just a 176 batting average with runners in scoring position. This is a big one here, no outs. Got me way in front of the sweeper. Sinker, sweeper, cutter. He doesn't throw overly hard, so got to kind of slow down. Oh, got a pitch to drive there. Down the middle. Gonna tag up. Gonna score the run, make it a 2-0 game. And move a runner up. Ronda does his job. Just missed a home run here. We're gonna swing one more time with Caminero while we're here. Yeah, I'm just not putting together good swings with him right now. I've had a lot of success with him over the past couple of episodes. I'm from the splitter. Yeah, I'm just having a bad day with Caminero, or a bad game with him anyway. All right, let's hop back out of here. Mullins knocks in another run. He's had a good day.
3.
Clanahan got plenty of run support now. Gives up a home run there to Mirador. Okay. He's gotten through 6. 2-hit day for Carson Williams. Ronda's up again. He walks that time. Caminero knocks in 2. We're going to avoid the sweep here, it looks like. Up 5. See if McClanahan gives us another inning. He does. 2 runners on for a Ronda. It's a line out. McClanahan can get through another inning.
Ball 4, take your base.
Yeah, let's take him out here now. Let's put Baker in. Get out of the inning. Caminero ends up with 2 hits. Baker can get the last. And he does. We end up winning the game 6-1. Great start from McClanahan. Rondo with a couple of hits. Caminero with a couple of hits. Got a home run, another RBI there from Cedric Mullins. Yeah. Carson Williams with a couple of hits, including a double. It's a really strong day from him. And since our guys got the extensions, let's give them the thumbnail player treatment here. Get McClanahan there. And then we want to get a Ronda back on the other side. Yeah, let's get through the rest of this year. I'm probably going to change up the custom game. It's just going to end up popping up a ton. It shouldn't be anything too difficult. To kind of go back, I'll pause it just for a second. So 4th and medium. Let's jump this now to like the 6th inning. Let's move this a little bit closer to high. That way we just don't have quite as many moments pop up. Get through this Colorado series. All right, let's not win too many games here now on the back end of the year. Golly, ended up sweeping them. Jacob Melton with a fractured foot. Pretty much done for the rest of the year. See if anything real crazy happens here. Cedric Mullins has another nice day. Carson Williams back-to-back days with a double. And it looks like another good start for Pepio. Did we just go ahead and offer him as well? I'm trying not to do too much. But I mean, Pepio feels like a Rhett Lauder does not have a great start there. Caminero, DeLuca, and Palacios go deep in this game. Pretty much everybody got involved outside of Aranda, who does walk 3 times. Seymour, best start we've seen from him in a minute. Should I offer Pepio as well? Obviously, I'm not going to have your guys' feedbacks. I mean, I think Pepio is rock solid, dude. $5 years is 17 mil. That's actually down from 18. Three contract extensions for the Rays. Is that crazy? I mean, it's my Rays team. We don't have to do it completely realistically. Pepio, that would get him through 33. B potential. I mean, he's already really good. Is up 2 overall this year. Is a guy that should be in the 80s at some point next year. Let's do it. Another extension. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. So now you have McClanahan and Pepio on a contract extension. As we look at the depth chart, let's look at year 3, 2028. It's got McClanahan projected to be around an 86 overall and Pepio at 84. I think that's a pretty good deal for Pepio, too. $17 million a year is not anything crazy. And now these two and Aranda and Caminero are now your linchpins. And you're hoping that Chandler Simpson and Carson Williams kind of join that list. Carson's having a nice little stretch here. Yeah, over a 1,000 OPS over his last 10 games. Trying to pick it up here at the end of the season. I like this, though. I think you got McClanahan and Pepio both on pretty solid deals. Like, if these guys progress this way towards the end and they're 87, 84 overall as we head into year 3 and 4, to me, that's a steal at their price tags. Now, we might be spending, obviously, a little bit more money up front on them than we otherwise would have, but I want a couple of these guys to be people that we can stick around with, and I think that both McClanahan and Pepio are guys that we can do that with. So I didn't come in expecting to do both of those guys, but this is what you get when you have me just live recording. You kind of have the let my emotions, get themselves out, I guess, to a certain extent. Brody Hopkins in a jam here. End up losing that one 4-3. Let's see how his start went. Got another hit there from Carson Williams. Got 3 stolen bases. Brody Hopkins, a really good start. So he's got back-to-back really good games. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 2 walks. Strikeout numbers are really, really worrying to me. To me, it's hard to play, too much at like a 5 or 6 strikeout per 9 number. McClanahan got the loss here. Carson Williams hit a home run, man. He is on fire right now. Almost above the Mendoza line. So McClanahan's second start after the extension was not nearly as good, but Pepio comes back and gets us a win. Right after that, Carson Williams finally goes 0 for. Pepio does give up 4, so maybe not his best start there. Let's get through this Athletics. Win that one 5-4. End up losing that one 5-4. DeLuca back-to-back really, really strong games for him. All right, so we win the series here with the Athletics. Rhett Lauder, great start. Good to see that from him. Got his ERA back below 5. Hopefully that can keep up. Here in the loss. Picked up 8 hits. Fortes with 3 RBIs. Hit a home run. Ian Seymour, back-to-back really good starts. It was the bullpen this one. So Seymour's had a couple of good starts in a row. Then in the 8-1 win, you got Aranda, who's now at that 20 home runs. Caminero, Luca hits a bomb as well. 14 total hits, and Carson Williams is kind of back to struggling again. Brody Hopkins, another really, really strong start, though. So 3 in a row for him after a pretty poor start. Walls with 3 walks. Get through this Baltimore series. Kind of weird with a 4-game set ended on a Monday. Got a couple of wins there. Rhett Lauder putting up another good start. We end up losing that game, though. Seymour, another good start. Bottom of the 9th, we are tied. End up losing that one 6-1, so that fell apart in extras. So McClanahan bounces back. Another good start here for him. Carson Williams with a hit. Got 2 hits from Aranda, 3 ribbies from Mullins as he goes deep. McClanahan, 6 excellent innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, did strike out 7. Pepio is our winning pitcher in the next one as well. Caminero goes deep, 3 RBIs. Taylor Walls goes deep as well. Man, he's been really, really good for us. It's really exciting to kind of see how he has ended up producing. And, Pepio was really good. We lose this one 1-0. We did get a good start, just no offense at all here. Carson Williams did get a hit. Rhett Lauder having a good episode, but yeah, just no offense there. And then no offense in this one here either. Only picked up 5 hits, 2 of them coming from Caminero. Palacios gets a hit. Yeah, just not a lot here. Ben Williamson with an RBI. Did have a couple of errors, but Seymour, another good start. Brian Baker kind of imploded on him there. In extras, got a Brody Hopkins start. We end up losing that one 5-1 as Gavin Lux goes deep and hits a double pretty much the entirety of the offense here. Hopkins was not good in this game. Looks like when it imploded on him, it imploded. 4 strikeouts from Logan Davidson. It's not great. McClanahan gets a start. We get a win, 9-2. Caminero, Mullins, Walls all go deep. Honda and Lux with doubles. McClanahan, a great start. Got 4 ribbies from Walls. And now Richie Palacios is out for pretty much the rest of the year. We get smacked around here 10-1. Ryan Pepio has probably his worst start of the season. Let's get through this next little grouping. We got to find another player here now. Palacios is playing left field for us. Davidson can't play there. That's nice. Who do we want to bring up? Whew, that is a bloodbath in left field. I think I want to leave Alcantara down, let him continue to progress there. He's not particularly performing great either. Is Valade already part of the 40-man? He is. Been okay. Just as a guy that can come off the bench. I think I'm okay with that. So let's go back over here now to the lineups. Should be able to put DeLuca in the left field. Good defender. I'm good with that, I think. Then we can rock with that. Do a little bit more simulating. Opportunity here with Carson Williams. Let's go take a hat. Already 36 minutes into the recording, so yeah, we're going to get through the season. So this episode might end up being a little bit longer. We may not have that much more gameplay. Got an opportunity here in the top of the 7th. 0-0 count, 1 down here in the inning. Carson Williams was on a heater to start this episode. Slowing down here a little bit. Average is back below 180. Certainly doing better his second trip up to the majors, though, this season after starting, as a starter on opening day. Ah, come on. That's a terribly late swing. Come on. Got to go get that fastball. Time that up better, yeah. Still a little on the late side. 1-2. Out away. Come on, Carson. Out away. A tough sinker there. Really early that time. Okay. 1-2 again. Only throwing one pitch in the zone. That one's out of it. Look at us taking a high fastball. 2-2. Seen almost every pitch he's got. Out away a fastball at the top of the zone. Out away a fastball late on that one. Actually early on it. Okay. 2-2s. Put together a really good at bat. This is the 9th pitch. Full count. Wasn't it that for Carson Williams here? Would love for him to have a moment. Out in front of the circle change. 11th pitch. Should have been walked. And it will be a walk anyway. So a really, really good at bat there from our young second baseman / shortstop.
For the Orioles, number 39.
I will bring in Andrew Kittredge.
Kittredge.
Johnny. I don't know if it's DeLuca or DeLuca. I still haven't heard. Late on the fastball there. Should have taken a couple practice hacks, but knew this was going to be mostly a simulating episode. Feel like we had good timing on that one. Decent slider, though. There we go. Good eye. Good take. That's a really low clutch. Fouled away the splitter. Trying to look for something to go the other way. Throwing a lot of stuff on the inside corner. Oh, there we go. Run is going to score. Second baseman gets eaten up there. I don't think they counted that as a hit. I'm going to assume they are. I think it's our first swing with Logan Davidson. Swung out, I think, every first pitch I've seen in this episode. Really low clutch number for him, too. Another good sinker. Got just enough movement on it that's making me think I'm swinging at better pitches.
Ball, that's up.
Good take. May not seem like a great take to y'all. For those of y'all that have watched me play, though, y'all know that high fastball is a tough one for me. Oof, that was a bad chase. It's a good slider. Good slider. Buried it in on us. Ian Williamson, Aranda not playing today. Base is still juiced. Oh, that was a pitch to drive, but it is going to get down, and 2 runs are going to score. DeLucia with that excellent speed, able to move up to third. Nice. Junior Caminero. Good slider there. That's one to drive. Be a double, and it's going to score another run here. That one gets by the left fielder. Now a 5-1 game. We have blown this open here in the top of the 7th. Good to see us performing a little bit better, you know, at this stretch of the season, too. Really interested to see where we end up drafting, have that number 2 overall pick. I know there's like some funky rules when it comes to the lottery and everything as far as like back-to-back years being really poor. I don't know exactly what they are, though. That was a horrible swing. Yeah, be interested to see. We should end up with a top 10 pick, I'm guessing. Hoping to get another top 5 pick and hopefully draft another position player. Hopefully we get a good roll with that next year. That's a bad swing. All right, we do our job there that inning, though. Good to see. Knock in 5 runs. We end up getting the win. Got a pretty good start there again from Rhett Lauder. A lot of guys got involved on the action here today. 3 hits from Williamson, 2 RBIs for him. Caminero with 2 RBIs and 2 hits. Walls, Williams, and DeLuca all had hits and walks. Yeah, nice job. Rhett Lauder, another good start for him. Would love for Lauder to kind of be the third, guy now, the future of this rotation in the long term. I think that would be great. That's fine. We can auto fix that, simulate it. Lose that one. And we lose that one. So we end up losing the series. Davison and Belay go deep. Got 10 hits, 3 RBIs from Belay. Freddie Hopkins does not have a good start there. Seymour picked up 11 hits in this game. Got 2 from Davidson, 2 from Gavin Lux. I got that batting average back up to 300. Seymour, not a great start at all. Okay, lose. Okay. McClanahan gets the loss here. Picked up 14 hits. Only score 4 runs on 16 base runners is kind of crazy, but got really bunched up. Williamson, Davidson, and Fortes having 9 of those hits. DeLuca with a couple as well. Davidson and Valade go deep. McClanahan, not a good start there. Looks like Pepio had a good start. We picked up 12 hits and scored 1 run. So a really weird back-to-back days. 27 hits, 5 walks between the 2 days, and we score 5 runs. Caminero goes deep. Pepio with a good start, but it gets wasted. We get a great start here from Louder. 3 home runs from Rhonda Fraley and Carson Williams. That's his 5th on the year. Those 3 guys also, or Mullins ends up as well with 2 RBIs along with Williams and Aranda. Rhett Louder, another good start. He is on a heater right now. What has he improved so far this year? He's up 3 overall. Yeah, 446 over his last 10 starts, but his last 4 have been really solid. 3 not giving up any runs. Giving up 1 run over his last 21 innings. So he is pitching extremely well right now, which is great to see. Add that in with some of the improvements we've seen out of Brody Hopkins. Ain't bad. We are about to be into September. Let's do kind of a rush here of simulating. Yeah, keep him on 10-day. Shane McClanahan will keep him active. Got to bring 2 guys up from the 40-man. Move over a relief pitcher up. Leave Alcantara down. We'll see about him maybe next year at this point. Bring up Gomez. Good with that. Then we'll bring in we'll bring up Victor Mesa. Played 16 games with the Marlins last year. Was not great. Sure, we'll bring him up. Oops. Get some simulating done here. Losses starting to pile up again. Carson Williams with a 2-homer day. We'll simulate it. End up winning that game 19-8. Wow. We just absolutely smoked the Rangers. Thought about trading for Smith Shawver earlier this year. We'll lose that game. Smith Shawver again. I guess he's coming in for in relief. Okay, look at us. All right, so just kind of going back through some of the high points here. Win this game 13-4. Picked up 13 hits and scored 13 runs. That's a little bit more like it. Got 2 home runs for Caminero, 1 from Walls. Got a really good start from McClanahan. We lose this next game. Got a 2-run homer, looks like, from Walls. Pepio, not great. It's 19-8 game. Got 2 home runs from Carson Williams. This was his big day. 7 RBIs. Mullins goes deep in this game as well. We pick up 24 hits, 3 walks. Everybody with at least 2 hits in this game. Aranda and Williamson each with 4 hits. Is crazy. Walls and Williams. Williams now back over the Mendoza line. Boyle had a really bad outing as a reliever, but look, a bullpen game there. Win this game 10-1. Davidson goes deep. 15 hits for us. Williams with 2 hits, 3 from Cedric Mullins, 3 from Gavin Lux. Really good offensive day and a great start from Ryan Pepio. We finish it out. Rhett Louder gets another good start. Got 4 guys that go deep here. Caminero's got to be getting close to 30. At this point, Rhett Louder just really finishing the season strong. We lose this game 1-0. Who pitched? Ian Seymour, man, he's pitching really well at the back end of the season as well, but not a lot of offense there. Looks like McClanahan struggled. We pick up 15 hits. A lot of guys really active in this game from that perspective. We knock in 7 runs, no homers or anything, but Caminero and Fortes with a couple of RBIs apiece. Not a good start from McClanahan, though. He got chased pretty early. Looks like Pepio had a pretty good start here, but did not give him much run support. Fortes with a 2-run double. Actually, what? Okay, let me take a look at this. So we're using Martinez instead of Brody Hopkins. So we need to, that's kind of the problem at times with letting the computer do some auto lineup stuff. So Pepio in this 9-3 win got the start. 4 guys with 2 hits: Lux, Aranda, and Fortes. Mullins and Fortes go deep. Decent start there. It's a quality start from Pepio. Nothing crazy. Get a win here. The next game, Aranda goes deep. 10 total hits. 3 guys with multiple. Rhett Lauder, and an okay start. His worst one he's had in a minute. Then we lose this game 4-0. Okay, we'll keep him active. Cam Chiminetti's season is over. A head contusion. 15-day will end his season. Aranda dislocates his ankle, so his season is over. Not what we want to see. All right. Okay, we'll handle that. So we had Aranda go down, so let's bring in, just another infielder bring in Ari Anamo. I know he's on the 40-man. He's young. Let's see. Give me somebody boring to bring up here. Yeah, we'll bring up Malloy. That's fine. Let's take a look kind of at, I want to see, because I know they'll go away. Let's look at Chiminetti's stats. What he finished up the year doing for us. He's up to a 70 overall. Yeah, he's going to be pitching by year 3 for us. A 2.9 ERA and 10 starts for us at AAA. The FIP is a little bit worse than that because he's got a really low strikeout per 9 number. Then of course we had Aranda is now out for the year. Gave him the big extension. Took a big jump this year. 832 OPS. We'll go over the final stats and stuff here again, but really, really solid campaign for him. I hate that it ended in injury. Should be good to go heading into next year, though. Yeah, let's get through this. Lose that one. Win that one, okay. Yeah, need to. Biscuits made the AA team. It's okay. Yeah, let's stop simulating. I want to make sure that Brody Hopkins is back in here. Looks like he had a pretty poor start. Or a pretty poor outing there anyway. Jake Fraley goes deep in this game. Yeah, Hopkins had a bad outing. Nick Martinez got his ERA under 4. He's been really good out of the bullpen. Let's take a look at this win. Take a look at these wins, I guess, and kind of go from there. Gavin Lux, Cedric Mullins, Jake Fraley all go deep in this one. McClanahan, a really good start. End up losing that one. Looks like Hopkins struggled out of the bullpen again. And this win, pick up 14 hits. Got another home run there from Carson Williams. Rhett Lauder struggled, though. We're going to finish up the regular season here. McClanahan making one final start. We end up losing it 4-3. So ended the season on a really big losing streak here. Let's see, what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row. End up with 63 wins, 99 losses. So we do avoid 100 losses this year. Obviously, we didn't make the playoffs, but let's kind of just peruse around. Let's take a look by player stats. Caminero ends up playing the most games for us. Not a major shock. He ends up with 34 home runs, 97 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, and 816 OPS. Okay. Cedric Mullins. How do I want to do this? Actually, I think we can do it this way because I can look at the stats there at the top. So Mullins, second most games played, a 681 OPS, does hit 19 home runs, 33 stolen bases, a really high number. Obviously just does not hit for average much anymore, and it really hurts his on base percentage. Strong year from Jake Fraley. Have a lot of interest in bringing him back. 738 OPS, 17 home runs, 20 stolen bases. Obviously, Aranda's season got cut short, but a great season. Was able to get the extension on him. 832 OPS, 22 home runs is a career high. I believe the RBIs are a career high too. I would think. Yeah, by one. He just barely got that before he got hurt. Ended up being at an 81 overall now at this point. Fortes as a catcher was okay. You know, he's not a problem player or anything for you. Ended up being a negative WAR guy. Just a 562 OPS is it's really, really bad. Kind of is what it is. Taylor Wall is a great season. I bet he ends up leading us in WAR, but we'll look at that a little bit later. But yeah, 772 OPS, 13 home runs, 63 RBIs. Gavin Lux hit 323, 879 OPS. We've got him coming back for a couple of years. Whatever it is about his attributes work. It's a really good discipline number, a good clutch and vision, and good contact versus righties. Really good. DeLucia, 540 OPS, 6 home runs. Carson Williams ends up with a 560 OPS, 9 home runs. Does get above the Mendoza line. Obviously, is not walking a ton. He is up 3 overall points this year, which is great. Was good on the back half of the year. Obviously, the last 10 games were not great. But he was really good in August. I would argue he might have been the rookie of the month at that point in time, which is something we probably need to look at. Obviously, a disappointment for him. Right, but still, I mean, jumped up in pretty much every stat. The vision and clutch stayed the same. Discipline stayed the same, but his durability went up, arm accuracy went up, his defenses went up, and his contacts and power went up pretty substantially, especially against lefties with his contact. He's a guy that I feel a lot more comfortable heading into next year. You know, I think you're probably looking, unless we get lucky again with the wheel roll, of him not being great this upcoming season, but I think he'll be solid. Ben Williamson come in, produced a 702 OPS, ended up starting a lot of games for us, 7 home runs. You know what you're getting. He's a solid defender, makes good contact. There's not a lot of pop to his bat. Palacios was really not performing well for us. It's a 609 OPS. Logan Davison was fine. Had just enough slugging, you know, with a lower batting average to not be just a complete detriment, but it's a really low OPS number. Chandler Simpson got hurt. It's unfortunate. I think you're going to get a lot better numbers from him heading into next year when he comes back. I really, unless the discipline rating is something that's badly going to damage him, you know, the contact vision and clutch numbers are so good. He really should be a guy that ends up hitting for a better average than this. So obviously was disappointing. We didn't get to really see him turn it around. They ended up bringing up Alcantara. So why is it showing his pitching stats? I don't even know how to do his hitting stats. Ended up producing a 665 OPS. I kind of wish he would not have had that happen. MLB season summary has no stats. That might have been. Wonder if he was up with like the Cubs, and I don't necessarily remember that. Alcantara, decent boost. Might end up being a guy that can play a little bit for us next year at the major league level, and then they have Jacob Melton on here as well. Got called up really late. Let's see. We'll just kind of briefly go over leaders. Oh, doing the wrong thing here. Apologies. Sort by doubles. Gavin Lux leads the way here. Yeah, Caminero had a really strong season. Mullins had his moments as well. Triples. Jake Fraley leads the way in that stat. Let's come over here now to WAR. Where Taylor Walls was a 4.6 player. Caminero 3.6. Mullins a 3.2 is higher than I would have thought. He's a pretty decent defender though, playing center. Aranda just short of 3, Gavin Lux a 2.3, and then you're basically just replacement level guys. Fortes was a negative player. Palacios, Carson Williams. At one point in time, Carson Williams was like a negative 1.5, so at least improve that in the back half of the year. So, okay. Let's do starting pitchers now. Pepio and McClanahan tied with our lead with 11 wins apiece, and both of them also having 12 losses. How do we want to do the stats here? Guess you can kind of see pretty much everything up top. So Pepio, I mean, a really solid season. Obviously not a big strikeout guy. McClanahan a little bit better on strikeouts. Their innings are pretty similar. A lot of similar numbers here. Pepio a little bit better in ERA. McClanahan better from a whip perspective. What take a look at FIP here as well, but just kind of wanted to take a look. Hold on one second. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. But yeah, FIP here for Pepio is solid. Maybe not great as much as his underlying stats were, but yeah, I'm good if the ERA is good. I'm fine with that. But him and McClanahan were really good, really solid. Brett Lauder was a lot better in the second half of the season over his last 10. Did produce a 4.57 ERA. Something is going on with this. Like, it's going down over here, but if I come over here and try to look at other stats, it doesn't show me anything. Obviously had a terrible last two games, really last 3 games of the season, but had a decent little stretch. I think Lauder's going to be solid, up 4 overall. Hopefully he's pushing into that 80 potential range, towards the top end by the end of next year. Steven Matz was good out of the bullpen, would have been fine as a starter for us. Seymour, this is probably, there's just no ceiling you're chasing here. So, why I really think that, I think we're going to be looking at McClanahan, Brody Hopkins, who we're going to get to in a second, I'm sure. Pepio and Lauder. I'm okay with maybe trying to look at something else as the 5th starter. Nick Martinez was pretty good. It doesn't even have. Why does it do this? I hate the end of the year stuff. You got to go fix all this. So Brody Hopkins, his major league debut, not great. 7.21 ERA. Really struggled coming out of the bullpen there. Had a couple of good starts in a row. And, did jump up well overall, but obviously not a great finish here for him. Over his last 5 outings were really bad. It's not letting me scroll down here. I don't understand why. I don't know what's going on with this. Like, it lets me scroll here, but doesn't let me scroll there. Hopkins obviously was not great. Let's go back over here to player stats. Take a look at pitchers. Let's see. Okay, back at the top. So Sulcer was not good out of the bullpen. Brian Baker was not as good in the second half as he was in the first half, which kind of sucks. Gomez in the limited 30 innings of work was actually excellent. So that's something at least good to see. Uceda, rock solid. Rodriguez was rock solid. Nick Martinez was a lot better as a reliever than he was as a starting pitcher. Englert, feel really good about him. Biggie didn't really get any action there. Let's take a look now over at WAR. I did the wrong thing again. So WAR, McClanahan, and Pepio each got over 2. Seymour 1.6. Uceda 1. Your negatives are obviously going to be, Coulter and Englert was showing as a negative. But I'm sure Brody Hopkins was also negative. FIP-wise, Brett Lauder certainly struggled. Martinez certainly pitched above his peripherals. Looks like Matz did as well. Pepio and McClanahan kind of more in line, and the bullpen guys had a couple guys doing a really nice job. With that, league leaders, Cedric Mullins led the majors in stolen bases. Are you kidding me? Led the American League in stolen bases. Okay, let's go back here to kind of the beginning. Vlad ends up winning the batting title for the Major League. Soto, Nimmo, Contreras, J.P. Crawford. Their hits goes to Bobby Witt, ends up winning that crown. Doubles also for Bobby Witt. 62 doubles is absolutely insane. What is the Major League record for doubles in a season? MLB record doubles in a season. 62 is that's almost got to be breaking the record. I mean, that's 4 more than Julio, who had 9 more than Jose Ramirez. So an outstanding season there. The record is 67, set by Earl Webb. Wow, so Witt was chasing history there for a while. Benson and Chorio get into the double digits and triples, which is also insane. Cal Raleigh, we don't have a 50-homer guy. Raleigh with 49, then it's Schwarber, Acuna, Kyle Tucker, a big first year there in L.A., Aaron Judge. I know Shohei was hurt, at least for a portion of the year. Some nice, kind of fun names in this group, though. PCA, a big year. Seiya Suzuki, an outstanding year. Pete Alonso, great first year there in Baltimore. RBIs goes to Raleigh. Witt right behind him. Raleigh might have won MVP in the American League. See the list of guys that put up 100 RBIs, though. Obviously, none for us. Caminero does come in tied for 19th. Muncy leads the league in runs scored. Schwarber right behind him. Stolen bases, Ellie, the only guy with 40. And, of course, Mullins and Horner right behind him at 33. Muncy leads the lead in walks. Kind of surprising to not see, golly, I'm drawing a blank on the name now. Juan Soto, golly, at the top here. That's very crazy. Big year looks like for Roman Anthony, at least drawing walks. Okay. I thought it might show their stats at the top right, but it does not. Isaac Paredes, a great year. Then OPS, Juan Soto leads the majors in OPS. Vlad behind him. Cole Reagans with the most wins. Brian Wu only has 3 losses. Matt Strom leads the league in saves. Paul Skeens with an ERA, and that's a terrible season for him. Scoobles all the way down at 5th. Already regressing, man. These guys are just terrible. Yuri Perez, big year. Luzardo, Yamamoto, Schlittler. Yeah, some fun names in there. And ERA. Home runs allowed, Luzardo at just 13. Suarez with 3 shutouts. Paul Skeens leads by a large margin in strikeouts. Innings pitch, Zach Wheeler. Still regressing. I'll fix some of this stuff after the end of the episode. But, yeah, Zach Wheeler had a great year. Been fighting regression for him all year. He'd be at like a 91, 92 had I not been updating him. Let's see. Whip, Paul Skeens leads the way, sub-1, and he's going to lead the way in WAR. Logan Webb had a great year. Has consistently been number 2 anytime I've looked at this list. Batting WAR, got Bobby Witt. Leads the way by a large margin. Take a look at award winners. Actually, before we do that, did we have anybody just happen to win like a player of the month at any point in time? We did not. Okay. Awards. Player of the year got Cal Raleigh wins the MVP over Bobby Witt. Certainly could have seen the case for either one of them. On the National League side, it's going to be Kyle Tucker. Cole Reagans, Paul Skeens are your Cy Young winners. Batting titles go to Juan Soto and Vlad. Reliever of the year goes to Schramm and Edwin Diaz. Rookie of the year, Chase DeLauder, and then Nolan McLean. We're going to give these guys boosts. It's going to be just kind of a +5 across the board on everything except for speed on these guys for winning that. So McLean's going to be looking at being close to a 90 overall. So that's dope. It's really cool. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing with them. So we'll do that here in just a minute. Blatty and Soto for the Hank Aaron Award. Got Bieber, Lodolo for the Gold Gloves, Rushman and Marino, Vinny, Matt Olson. I'm just going to do it the American League and then we'll do the National League. So Meadroth, Paredes wins a Gold Glove at 3rd. Andres Jimenez. Got Cody Bellinger, Dalton Varsho, and Wilyer Abreu. In the outfield, Silver Slugger goes to a DH, goes to Pete Alonso. Goes to Raleigh at catcher, Pasquantino at first base, Brandon Lowett second base. Ends up with the Mariners. I didn't really think about that, but obviously we had him, and he played a major part in our Mariners franchise last year. Jose Ramirez edges out Junior Caminero there at third base. A really, really tight race there. OPS 855 OPS for Ramirez, 816 for Caminero, but really, really similar games and seasons and stats here. But got more walk, got a better walk percentage there out of Jose Ramirez, able to get the win there for the Silver Slugger. Shortstop is Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge, Brandon Nimmo, George Springer for the outfield. And then let's come back around to Gold Gloves. End up at first base. Olson, Nick Horner, Eugenio Suarez, Otto Lopez, Herberito Hernandez. Wow, okay. Really, really good defender. Had a really good year there for the Marlins, okay. Brenton Doyle, no big surprise there. And then Fernando Tatis, no big surprise there. Ronald Acuna wins your Silver Slugger at DH. Contreras at catcher. Bryce Harper at first base. Edging out Yandy Diaz. there for the Reds. Yanni ended up with an 853 OPS, 29 home runs, 295 average. Dope. Silver Slover, Ketel Marte. Then you got Max Muncy, Francisco Lindor, Kyle Tucker, PCA, and Juan Soto. Let's go, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and give DeLauder McLean their boost for winning Rookie of the Year. That's something that's like the first part of progression things that I'm adding into my series to make things a little bit different from everybody else. And so what it's going to be, the rules I kind of have written down. Rookie of the Year is a +5 across the board. Hopes of making these guys, potential superstars. Even if it's not necessarily a great season, right? Like DeLauder's year is not great, but he wins Rookie of the Year. And I want to, give guys a boost. So he's going to be at a 73 overall. Let's go ahead and see kind of what this ends up shaking out to be. 64, 52. I'm not really worried about the bunting stuff. 53, 50, 53, 85. We're not going to do speed. Arm strength is probably one of those I need to leave alone as well. Arm accuracy can go up a little bit. Reactions can go up just a tad. And then stolen bases, I think I'm good with that also being something that can go up. So the DeLauder goes from a 73 up to a 78. So obviously not a gigantic boost. He's not a superstar, but it's going to help him reach that potential a little bit higher. Why don't we add in, should we add in a boost and potential raise as well? I don't think so. I think I'm good on that. And then we need to go to McLean over here for the Mets. Where's he at? There he is. So he's at an 86 overall. His is going to be crazy. He's going to be a 90 overall pitcher. Which, I mean, after the season he had, maybe that's what he ends up becoming, if he has this kind of season heading into next year. Any of this? Do we want to change any of this? Help his reactions just a little bit, I guess, is fine. So he is now going to go up to a 92 overall. So that's the boost that he gets for that. Nothing else really shocking or stands out from an award perspective, so I think we're okay. Not really giving anybody else a boost. That's not really, I didn't want to do it for like every award, but if there was somebody that was like overly shocking, I was going to help give them a boost, but none of these guys are overly, except for maybe Cole Reagans. He's already up 3 overall this year, though. I think I'm okay leaving him alone. Like somebody was really, really surprising, like a 70 overall guy that just has a monster year to me, that would kind of help make sense. I don't think we really got any of that here. Yeah, we're good. Okay. But yeah, we're let's take a look at the standings. Obviously, just in the AL East, we end up with the worst record here. The Orioles win the division. The Royals win the Central. The Mariners win the West. Astros trade away all those players and still end up making the wild card. Your wild card teams are the Blue Jays, Yankees, and Astros. We got 3 teams from the East. We end up with the second worst record in the American League. Phillies end up winning the National League East, going away. Cubs win the Central. Dodgers win the West, definitely going away. So not really a lot of close. There are really no close divisions here. And the Reds, Mets, and Braves are your wild card teams. So we're going to end up with the 4th worst record in baseball behind the Nationals, Cardinals, and the Angels. So kind of right in line with where our team rankings now would kind of tell us we're going to end up being at. So it should end up with the top 6 or 7 picks, something like that. We'll have to see how the draft lottery shakes out. But yeah, that's going to do it here for this episode. And in the next one, we'll be going through our first off season. Yeah, if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. Check out my other work on the channel as well. thank you so much for tuning in. The series has been great, and I'm really looking forward to getting into this offseason and getting into year 2. Yeah, leave me feedback down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.